For more stock news updates, remember to press the like button and subscribe. With that being said, let's get straight into the video. Most people who follow the financial markets, especially those interested in aerospace and defense companies, are already familiar with one of the most widely discussed and admired success stories in recent years. This well-known stock has captured the attention of retail investors and institutional players alike, thanks to its strong performance and broad recognition across social media platforms and financial news. However, while that stock continues to make headlines, there is a newer name emerging on the radar that might be just as promising. In fact, it may even have more potential to deliver massive returns in the future because of its powerful technology and strategic place within the industry. That newer company is BigBear.ai Holdings. At first glance, BigBear.ai might not seem like it belongs in the same conversation as a tech heavyweight like Palantir Technologies. However, when you dig a little deeper and examine the underlying fundamentals, the growth trajectory, and the technological developments happening behind the scenes, it becomes clear that BigBear.ai has built a strong case for becoming a legitimate contender in the artificial intelligence and defense technology space. To understand how this comparison makes sense, we need to look at what made Palantir successful in the first place. There are three primary ingredients that helped Palantir stand out as a high-growth stock. The first and most obvious is popularity. Palantir gained attention not just because of its earnings and growth numbers, but also because of its public presence. The chief executive officer of Palantir is a unique and well-known figure, which helped the company generate constant buzz. Its presence on social media sites like Twitter and YouTube only amplified the attention it received, with users even creating humorous memes about the company. This kind of cultural relevance helped fuel investor interest and pushed the stock even higher. BigBear.ai is now starting to follow a similar path. Although it is not quite as mainstream yet, there are signs that the stock is gaining popularity fast. For example, the surge in search activity has reached triple-digit percentages, showing that more and more investors are paying attention. Popularity often serves as the spark that gets retail investors to notice a stock, and once they start to dig into the fundamentals, the excitement can really begin to build. That brings us to the second and third factors that made Palantir a standout investment. These are related to the company's business structure and financial foundation. This is where BigBear.ai truly starts to shine. Over the past 12 months, BigBear.ai has delivered an incredible run in the stock market. The share price has surged by an outstanding 287%, which is far greater than the performance of the Standard & Poor's 500 index during the same period. If we zoom in even closer and focus just on the latest quarter, BigBear.ai stock has posted gains as high as 92.3%. These numbers are not just impressive, they are signs that investors are beginning to see real value in the company's approach and future. Even after this major upward move, the stock is still trading well below its all-time high. This means there is room for the stock to potentially double in value if it returns to those earlier levels, which could indicate that the company is just getting started on its journey toward becoming a major player in the artificial intelligence space. Part of what makes this situation even more appealing is that BigBear.ai is still a relatively small company. Its current market value is about $2 billion. By comparison, Palantir's valuation is around $300 billion. This size difference gives BigBear.ai a strategic advantage. Because it is smaller, it can operate with more flexibility and aggressively pursue new clients without needing to worry as much about profit margins or complex deal structures. In other words, BigBear.ai can prioritize growth over perfection, and that kind of nimbleness is exactly what government agencies and defense departments often look for when they are scouting new vendors to help them integrate cutting-edge technologies. And when it comes to technology, BigBear.ai is not far behind Palantir. In fact, some would argue that it is actually more specialized in certain areas. For instance, BigBear.ai has built its business around supporting modern warfare systems, including unmanned missions and autonomous vehicles. These types of operations are becoming increasingly important as militaries around the world shift their strategies toward technology-heavy approaches. BigBear.ai uses artificial intelligence and machine learning to power these efforts, helping clients make smarter decisions faster and operate with greater efficiency. This is the kind of focus that puts the company in an ideal position to benefit from future defense spending and technological innovation. From a financial perspective, the stock's current valuation is still quite attractive. Right now, BigBear.ai shares are trading at only 56% of their highest price over the past 52 weeks. This means that the stock has a long runway to move higher if market sentiment remains strong and if the company continues to perform well. And considering that BigBear.ai's recent performance already places it ahead of most competitors in the industry, the possibility of retesting and even breaking its all-time highs looks increasingly realistic. Looking more closely at valuation metrics, we can see that BigBear.ai is currently priced at 7.0 times its asset base. These assets are primarily intangible, meaning they likely include intellectual property tied to its proprietary artificial intelligence models and software tools. To understand what that number means in context, it helps to compare it to similar companies in the same space. Other businesses that focus on artificial intelligence and advanced technology tend to trade at an average asset multiple of about 18.0 times. This is over 100% higher than where BigBear.ai sits today. That gap in valuation highlights the opportunity. If BigBear.ai manages to close that gap, both in terms of market perception and real financial growth, it would support a move back to the company's historical stock price highs. There is also a potential catalyst that could help accelerate this process. In the most recent quarterly results, BigBear.ai reported a significant increase in its research and development spending. Alongside that, there was a 30% rise in the company's order backlog. These two changes point to a very important shift. More investment in research and development means the company is actively working to improve and expand its capabilities. At the same time, growing backlog orders indicate stronger future revenue streams. If those two trends continue, they could push the company's financial performance much higher than current market expectations. When that happens, it is very possible that analysts on Wall Street will take notice. Upgrades from analysts and increased attention from institutional investors could lead to a fresh wave of buying. This buying pressure, in turn, could support a sharp rally in the stock price, and since the stock is still trading far below its highest levels, there is plenty of upside potential left on the table. In the end, BigBear.ai Holdings, a rising artificial intelligence and defense-focused company trading on the New York Stock Exchange under BBAI, is gaining attention as a potential rival to Palantir Technologies. Over the past 12 months, its stock surged by 287%, including a quarterly jump of 92.3%, thanks to growing popularity, strong contract momentum, and a fourfold rise in research and development spending. While the stock still trades at only 56% of its 52-week high, its smaller market size of $2 billion compared to Palantir's $300 billion allows it greater flexibility to secure new clients. With core strengths in unmanned military technology and artificial intelligence software, along with a current valuation of 7.0 times assets versus peers trading at 18.0 times, BigBear.ai could experience further upside, especially as institutional interest and analyst upgrades increase. With that being said, I will see you in the next video.